It's going to be a fast-paced program tonight, so let's bring you the story first and foremost. Ibrahim Magu, you know him. He's been in an acting capacity as the EFCC boss like forever, and the reason may be beyond what we know, but here is what we know. He's not been confirmed by the Senate, and without that confirmation, it will not be a substantive chairman. Today, a federal high court in Abuja has ruled that the Senate is conferred with the authority to ensure the choice of, quote, only suitable and credible persons for appointment to the office, end of quote. The court gave the ruling on Thursday in determining the suit challenging the Senate's authority to deny an appointee to the office of chairman of the EFCC under the EFCC Act. Justice John So, who gave the judgment in the suit filed by a legal professional, Mr. Oluwatosin Ojamo, questioned whether the Senate President and the Senate can reject a valid appointment made by the President of Nigeria to the office of the chairman of the EFCC in accordance with the provisions of the EFCC Act. And the Coalition for Nigeria movement is not only gaining momentum, it is gaining strong membership. Former President of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, has formally registered as a member of the coalition in Abuja, the Ogun State capital. The former president, at an event held in Abeokuta, says the group would give women and youths the pride of place in the scheme of things.
Means to an end. The end is Nigeria unshackled, united, dynamic, strong, secure, cohesive, stable, and prosperous at home and respected outside, and as a result, able to play a decisive role assertively within the Community of Nations.
Well, okay, here is a piece of information we need to ponder on. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo released his statement on Tuesday, the 23rd January, which is widely talked about, especially with him calling out the president. In that statement, he proposed the formation of a movement. 8 days later, the movement was launched. Today, the former president has registered as a member. I'm not judging that. It all happened too fast or preempting anything. Only wondering how time will unveil how impactful and forceful the coalition will be. Moving on, 8 days ago, the Governor El-Rufai-led committee submitted his report on true federalism. Yesterday, the party did a public presentation of what he hopes will fix the structural imbalance in the country. Now, the fate of the document lies heavily on the political will of the president and the National Assembly. Let's backtrack to what the president thinks about the restructuring issue.
In respect of political developments, I have kept a close watch on the ongoing debate about restructuring in court. No human law or edifice is perfect. Whatever structure we develop must periodically be perfected according to changing circumstances and the country's socio-economic developments. We Nigerians can be very impatient and want to improve our conditions faster than may be possible, considering our resources and capabilities. When all the aggregates of nationwide opinions are considered, my firm view is that our problems are more to do with process than structure.
Let's get the conversation started, everyone. We have a regular analyst on the program, a member of the PDP political analyst, Mr. Ken Okolugbo, is also a former commissioner in Delta State, and in our Abuja studio is a lawyer, a former national secretary of the Labour Party, Mr. Kayode Ajulo. Many thanks, gentlemen, for joining us on the program. Let me begin with you, Mr. Okolugbo. What do you make of the Obasanjo's concept of the Coalition for Nigeria movement? He did say he's going to bring about a change of attitude, a change of orientation in our political understanding in Nigeria.
It's very obvious that Obasanjo's coalition movement is too late in the day.
Really?
Yes, it's too late in the day. Let's call a spade a spade. When even the parties that came together to form the APC did come together they came together in 2013. They realized the mistake they had made in 2011 when they wanted to form a coalition at the twilight of the elections. And they realized that even if we had come together to form that coalition, we would not have been able to wrestle power from the PDP. And so they needed to form a coalition in 2013. And in 2013, they were able to get APC registered. And it took them 2 years to go through the nook and cranny of the country to be able to establish what today you have as a ruling party. Obasanjo is not only have been a president for 2 terms in this country. He's someone that has a lot of experience. I wonder why he's going on this political voyage. He's certainly not going to lead us anywhere.
Is it because you're a member of the PDP and it did call out to your party that your party and the ruling party is not an option that Nigerians had hoped for, the kind of political platform that will give the hopes and aspiration of Nigerians a reality in the country?
Obasanjo is entitled to his views, but it's the same party he came on board and ruled this country.
But you did say
for
things
8
have
years.
changed.
We've passed through the shadow of the land of the dead, if I should put it that way. Let me change it that way. At this point in time, we have been able to get our acts together. You were at the convention in Abuja. You saw that we have been able to put our national officers together. And we're looking forward to getting a presidential candidate that can get us out of the doldrums. It's too early in the day for you to say that things have changed. It's when we go through that internal process of trying to get a presidential candidate that can drive this country and we don't do it properly, then you can come up to say that, you know, it is not yet to huru in the PDP.
So you believe that the APC and PDP are viable platforms?
Still very viable.
Really?
Still very viable, yes.
And they probably meet the aspirations of Nigerians.
But APC, you see, the problem here is that APC has not met the aspiration of Nigerians.
As
and
your party
there's an
it,
alternative.
Considering 16 years.
Oh, no, but the 16 years.
What the APC would describe
I
as
will
misrule?
I will agree that the 16 years we had disaster and we also had the good sides of it. You can't all just take it. You can't just drink Panadol. You should drink Panadol. You also have to drink ice cream. What I'm trying to say is that there were legacies that we bequeathed on this country. The FCC today, was it not Obasanjo's time that exiting the Paris Club debt, was it not Obasanjo's time? I mean, the program is short. I can go on and on and on. Certain legacies, even the TSA, even though it was not implemented in the time of Jonathan, it was all the program of the PDP. So I'm not going to say that we did not have it bad during the PDP 16 years. But it was not all a tale of woes.
Okay, let me get the view of Mr. Ajulo. I mean, he's been a national executive of a party, of the Labour Party. But with this kind of coalition, politically speaking, with your understanding, what do you make of it? It seems to be a lot of agitation about a new political movement around the country, a thought force emerging. Do you think this will work?
Well, if it is a genuine exercise, it is going to work. But from the principals, that is the practitioners going around calling of this thought force, I'm afraid it is not going to work. It's not going to work first when you look at within the time frame of when Obasanjo starting his new coalition to the time of having election. Particularly, you need a political party. Except if Obasanjo today will say, we are thinking of in one of these existing political party, they will move into it, then they can now make their aspiration known and then try to achieve that. But apart from that, I did not see INEC between now to the election because there is a time frame within which INEC can register election to when to have the major election. Having said that, but again, one thing we have to know is this. Some of us, particularly in the political party, the likes of Obasanjo and the rest cannot deny the fact that they have their own agenda, cannot define that since November, they've been calling some of us to come together to have a coalition. And the first question some of us have been asking is this: who are those that will champion this? If it's going to be the men of yesteryears that have caused all the problem we are today, then I believe it is more like some people are still pursuing an agenda which is well known to them. And that is why you see, when you look at the whole address of Obasanjo today, it is more like taking aggregate of everybody complain to come together and then adopt it as its own. That is not the issue. We have to be sincere. There has been some disaffection, there has been some issues, there has been some worries in the land. But someone to now use that worry and to use the sentiment to call it under the coalition and to believe that people will believe that this is a coalition. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm not a prophet of doom, you will see some of those that are running after Obasanjo will come back to say, oh, so this young man has his own agenda, but unfortunately, they've already found themselves with it. We need to see from actually those who are running up and down on this coalition. By their fruit, you shall know them, sure.